Welcome to the Solid Signal Podcast. The date is May 14th, 2018 as I record this, and it seems like it's been a while since I recorded a podcast because it's actually been about a week and a half. I did the last one extremely early. I don't normally tell all of you out in the blogosphere where I'm going and what I'm doing because I think that's kind of an invasion of privacy. But last week, I spent the whole week in Richardson, Texas, at the headquarters of Wilson Electronics Training Division, getting recertified to be a Wilson certified installer. This is something I'd actually done back in 2013, and it was time to get it redone. There's been a lot of changes to the cellular signal booster industry, and I think that it was a great opportunity to spend some time in the classroom with a bunch of great individuals, all happen to be male actually, so I could say a bunch of great guys, and learn about the latest professional cellular signal boosters offered by Wilson Electronics. I should point out, by way of paying for this podcast, that all of those Wilson Pro products are available at solidsignal.com or by calling 877-312-4547. The subject, therefore, of this week's podcast is test, don't guess. Why? Because I had the opportunity to spend some time with Wilson's signal meter, the cellular signal meter that's used by professionals to determine what kind of service that you're going to get before and after your cellular signal booster installation. You know, I think that I've talked about in a couple of different podcasts and in blog articles that, unfortunately, the real signal level that you're getting from your cell phone, it's impossible to tell. You know, the bar measurements are pretty much useless. Some phones have 4, some phones have 5, and there really isn't any explanation or consistency in how they work. As a matter of fact, for example, I carry an AT&T and Verizon device with me at all times, and I've seen the two of them have exactly the same bar measurements, and yet one could make a call and one could not. And this just tells me that the bars themselves are not really good ways of understanding things. Apple certainly makes it hard for you to understand what kind of signal you're getting, and the truth is that Androids don't make it a whole lot easier. Androids do let you download apps like Signal Strength, which will let you see what the actual numbers are for the phone that you're using. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a standardized number, and it doesn't describe how other people are going to get a signal. It's just not enough. It's not enough to talk about one phone. Unless, I mean, if you're a personal user, then you care about your one phone. And I've said before, if you're a personal user looking to put up your own cellular signal booster, you should absolutely use your phone. And I know the folks down at Solid Signal aren't going to like this too much, but you probably don't need to spend several $100s on a signal meter, even if it is the best signal meter that you're ever going to get. I would say you should always know what your environment is, whether it's cell signal, Wi-Fi signal, satellite, antenna, whatever. But the challenge is trying to find a measuring instrument that meets your budget, is going to be the kind of thing that you're going to use more than once so that it makes sense to buy it, and also gives you accurate information. Not terribly surprising, I could tell you that there are some really, really good ones at solidsignal.com. And if you're looking for an antenna meter, you can get at least something that gives you the equivalent of a bar measurement for a very, very, very low price. A lot of times that's all you need, because remember, with digital signals being used for cellular, satellite, and antennas, it doesn't necessarily matter how much signal you have. It matters whether or not you can tell a difference between a 1 and a 0, which is why cell signals go through walls and doors and windows, and you know, those things get incredibly, incredibly weak. Your average cell signal will, by the time it gets to you, will be like 1/100,000th of what it was when it was broadcast, and we're talking about these tiny, tiny fractions of a watt being put out and received, and yet you're still getting clear audio and you're still being able to download at ridiculous speeds. And of course, with 5G coming, you're going to see even more of that. The point being that using a proper meter the proper meter for you is the right choice all the time. If you're going to be just a regular person who is using something like this occasionally, using your phone is a good bet. Using an inexpensive signal meter from solidsignal.com or the built-in signal meter on some TVs is a good choice. Using the meters that are on your satellite receiver is a good choice if you're going to be just an occasional user, just kind of trying to get an idea of what's going on. But as soon as you find yourself doing this kind of stuff more than once, you're going to need a really good signal meter for what you're doing. If you're an RVer, you'll need a satellite signal meter. If you're going to be moving televisions around, even putting antennas on your friends' homes or moving from place to place, you'll need a good antenna signal meter. And needless to say, if you're going to be doing more than one cell booster installation, I learned how important it was to get a good cellular signal meter. Of course, all these things are available at solidsignal.com. Just search for signal meter. And I know I'm spending a little bit of time selling this week, and I apologize for that, but I did want to make sure that you are aware how important measurement is. As I said, test, don't guess.